Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, just a quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose only, nothing is a financial advice. Alright guys, big trend day in the market today. Just amazing day. Only 7% people read in the community because today was again our repeatable setups, the repeatable teachings that I teach you guys again and again came in handy. VIX strategy was fired today. Very easy setups, easy day, and lot of other breakout setups, upgrade setups. Most of the setups were working really nicely. So we'll review all that, we'll discuss all that so that you guys can, if you're new, you can learn those setups and learn how to trade in the stock market consistently and profitably. So before we start that, let's do a quick introduction. Anybody who's new to our YouTube, new to our X accounts, or new to our community. So we trade a repeatable system called Ripster EMA Cloud system. The system just doesn't include EMA clouds. It also includes all the concepts, all the teachings about the price action, about psychology, about risk management based upon number 4 pillars of trading that we use. We trade this system is actually traded by thousands of traders across the world, not just only on my followers or my community. Thousands of traders across the world use this system. I've been teaching this for almost 8 to 9 years now, Ripster cloud system. So how do we trade that? How do we plan it, and how do we trade these setups? Setup is what you trade, system is how you trade. So system is how you trade, setup is what you trade. To find these setups, you have to plan, you have to do a pre-market planning. We do this pre-market planning every day in the pre-market, which includes our news plays, earning plays. It also includes index stocks, includes upgrade and downgrade setups. All of these are repeatable setups. We make a plan in the pre-market that what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna show you in the recaps that how the plan was and how we followed the plan and how the system worked exactly as per the plan. So we're gonna review all those the trades today. So this is our main plan for the day, and we trade this. I make this live in our community half an hour before the market open. We make it live on the live screen share. Then we also trade something called day to day 3 strategy. This is another repeatable strategy that we trade. This is a free webinar I did about this strategy as well. We share this plan in the pre-market with the traders as well. So in addition to that, we also trade futures. We provide these future levels for the traders so they can trade the futures using Ripster EMA Cloud system. You can pause the screen and see how today was a huge day on trading futures. Very profitable day for the traders. We also trade indices, ETFs, the Mag 7s. We provide these daily levels to the traders as well so they can trade these tickers, which are the most liquid tickers in the market, using our Ripster EMA Cloud system and also the rules that I teach. We trade many other things. We trade low floors, we trade IPOs. We have a dedicated room for that as well. Tanner Trade Group, our community, is one of the largest trading live trading educational group online. We have so many tools in the community. We have free multiple option flow scanners, 3 option flow scanners, stock scanner. We have breaking news alerts, breaking news squawks, hold, unhold alerts, support and resistance alerts. We have order flow and many other screen share all day long. Our floor has thousands of traders on our floor sharing ideas all day, trying to find opportunities in the market, keeping your losers small and winners big. Our tools are almost $500, $600 per month, which are freely available for any trader in the community. You're also free to learn from my free websites. I've been teaching free for over 8 years now, from my YouTube recaps, ripstereducation.com, and if you feel like, feel free to join the community as well. Anyways, that's a quick recap. I'm usually on voice first few hours of the market open. I'm on the voice, I'm on the live screen, guiding the traders through the trade setups, what is long, what is short, where to put the stops, showing them actually how the trade is working and showing the power of the system to the traders in the community. So that being said, let's start the recap and watch along, and hopefully you can learn these setups and follow the today's teachings to successfully trade in the stock market. All right, so we're going to start with SPY, QQQ, and NASDAQ future trades that we had in the community. So this is this is nothing new. I have been teaching this VIX strategy that thousands of traders have been using this strategy. before I popularized this strategy on social media, not many traders were using VIX to. Yeah, so you can go to ripstereducation.com. You can also study the SPY VIX strategy. So anyways, let's take a look what was happening in the market this morning. This morning when we came up, there was some taco by Trump on the weekend. So market was really gapping up. QQQ was gapping up. SPY was gapping up, which are, the weeklies ready to break out again here. So what was the plan in the pre-market? Because what we saw in the pre-market was the VIX was super duper weak. So when VIX is super duper weak and it's touching the 20 level, so the plan was that I gave, and it is so accurate, and the plan like flawlessly that it worked. So let me show you here. So when we go to this SPY QQQ, the plan was if VIX 20 key today, if VIX breaks 20, 30, long the market over the previous day high. Watch Magnificent 7, semis and banks. If pullback on the market, watch the gap fill bounce. If VIX bounces 20, no long. So we didn't really had to go there, right? Because our the first criteria met. VIX broke 20 right out of the gate. Not only that, you also have to look what is Apple doing, what is Microsoft doing, what is Nvidia doing, semiconductors, banks. So you have to quickly, because I'm looking at 100 tickers at the open, so I can guide my traders. I can tell them that it's a good setup or not. But even if you're just looking at VIX and making those decisions, you could easily long the leverage ETFs. You can, you can buy options, whatever you want to trade. However you want to trade the strong market, you can trade it long. So as soon as I saw that, I told the traders it's a breakout versus 512, take it long. You put your stops under 512. So if you're taking long at 608, your stops are right under 607. Same for the Nasdaq futures, and your stops are under that 512, and same for SPY. So I told the traders, their longs, amateur longs, moved as we started to push. I told the traders to move the stops up. And if you notice that at the same time, VIX started to break 20. So as soon as VIX stays under 20, we are not worried. And important thing to talk about is Friday was a choppy day, right? The traders usually lose everything on a choppy day. You need to know what is a good day, what's a bad day. Friday, I told the traders it's that I don't really like it. I am not really confident of the day today, because market has a personality, has a split personality, multiple personalities. Some personalities are choppy, some days a super trend day. How do you identify that? You identify from the various teachings I teach you. Is the price showing you a daily pattern? Is there a weekly pattern? Is price over the pre-market highs? Is price over the clouds? Is price over yesterday highs? Is there too many VIX on the candles? So you can tell. And also you look at the macro and fundamental, you can tell very quickly, and that's what we do. Like you see here, I know that it's a long setup, it's a confident long setup, and that's what was the plan in the pre-market. You long QQQ, you long Nasdaq futures, whatever you want to trade, you long it. And I told the traders to hold into 10 a.m. So hold into 10 a.m. And then we go to the flag breakout, right? So we got a initial flag breakout, and then we started to flag again. You see, this was the flag in QQQ, and same was for SPY and Nasdaq futures. If you want to take a look here, let me show you here. So hold on, yeah. So the same was for this another flag, right? That broke at 10:20, right? So you see that there was a 10:20 flag. I told the traders flag breaks 10:08. I told the trader, and SPY QQQ boom. From that time, SPY QQQ continued to push and run further, and I told the traders to take some off. Now if you follow the Ripster clouds, you hold until the 512 breaks, or there was a little bounce on VIX at 19 area, or there was a little bounce here at MTF area, and it rejected 19. That told you that you could get long again here at the same time when it was rejecting 19, and VIX faded. So you're supposed to stay long, supposed to stay bullish. So that was a simple strategy, guys. Traders, that's how only 7% traders were read in the community, and I'm just so proud of that. We got this opportunity today, because day like today, you need to hold. You need to make those big trades. If you're trading options, you need to have those home runs, so that on a chop day like we were on Friday, the loses don't matter, right? That's what I keep teaching the traders, that you need to capitalize on these big days, when they're pushing, right? The options literally went 300% today. This one was for QQQs, went from $2 to $5. 2,000 to 5,000, and even the lotos even go crazy. And when we lose, we keep the loser small. If QQQ didn't push here, we would have lost $1, maybe we would have lost 20%, 30% on option. Who cares, right? Because our winners are, if our winners are over 100%, or if our winners, if you're risking $1, if I risk $1 here, even if you took, like took 10 shares, I'd still made $4, at the highs, risking $1. So that's 1 risk to 4 reward. But this was no fluke, this was no hindsight, everything planned, everything step by step. That's how you trade SPY, QQQ, NASDAQ, futures with this VIX strategy. Have done 1,000 times, have shown you guys 1,000 times. So make sure you use it. Hopefully my tweets, my YouTube recaps, my shorts, and also the traders in the community, you guys see this and you guys implement it. Like you see already, so many traders have, like you can see these tweets are from 4 years ago. Since that, traders are using the VIX strategy, and they literally they change their trading, especially the traders who trade indices, ETFs, or the futures. All right, so that was SPY QQQQ, a big all day bullish bull run for us in the community. Let's look at the next trade here. All right, so next one I'm going to look at is let's look at Netflix, right? So let's look at Netflix daily chart, and then we'll decide what's going on with Netflix. So if I look at Netflix daily chart, I mean, even the weekly is looking pretty nice today. So it had this downtrend line right here. It had a nice little downtrend line. If I look at the clouds here, let's take a look at the clouds. It was reclaiming some clouds there, Netflix. So why was it important today? Our pre-market planning, Morgan Stanley raised the price target to 1,500. Like I told 100 times, 1,000 times I've said, okay, tier 1 analyst, when they say something, it's good, it's bullish, right? It's support at 1,200, breakout 1,206. Told the traders MTF breakout long, trade the leverage ETF, NFXL, no go under 1,200, right? So the plan, this was the plan, you see, this was the plan. I highlighted as a red because red means it's high focus. And what else did we find in this trade? Let's see, what else were we finding when we were trying to trade Netflix? It was breaking 20 MTF clouds, it was breaking 50 MTF clouds, it was trading over 1 hour MTF clouds, bullish news, daily channel breakout, that makes it an A+ long. And you long it. Let me show you my timestamp guidance here to the traders. Let's see here. As soon as the market opened, I told the traders no long Netflix or leverage ETF called NFXL. Long those both. And they already knew from the pre-market planning. So first target I gave on Netflix was 1225, 1220. Second target was 1230, and third target was 1235. We met all the targets, and finally 12 almost hit close to 1250, and we closed it. Once we hit this 512 breaks, we exited it. But Netflix long for us, even if you long at 1210s, risking those 1205s, $5, you could easily make $40. If you're risking 100 shares, you could easily make 3 times, four times of that, right? If you're 100 shares, 10 shares, if you're risking $5, you're making $30. That's a 6 times your risk, right? The option, or you could trade the leverage ETF that like I teach you again and again, that leverage ETF is good as well to trade, and or either options are illiquid. But even if you bought 1,000 shares of an NFXL, you risked $500, you did make 2,000 to dollars by end of the day on that leverage ETF long. So there's many ways to long these names. You can see my timestamp guidance. I told the traders we do not cut as long as cloud holds. We do not pike, we hold. There was a flag here, and there was all day run, huge volume. Use the Ripster candle volume indicator, use the Ripster relative volume indicator, so that you can hold this run all the way up. Look at this beautiful move, and not a single time I told the traders to exit. Our exits are always when 512 breaks and we exit that. That was A+ long, tier 1 upgrade, MTF clouds, daily reversal, just an A+ trade. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one we're going to look at is Apple. So Apple was another one because it was also an A+ trade. Before the market opened, I did tweet out, because as always, nothing is hindsight from me. I try to show you guys real stuff from from the breakout and how it works. Let me show you here. Let's take a look here. So if you're taking a look here, so it's a Apple weekly breakout soon, right? So this was September 19th. That was the first weekly breakout at 240, and that kind of panned out because we broke out of the 240 and we almost hit 260, right? So that was a weekly breakout. So you learn the breakouts. This is how you learn the breakout. This is how you learn to chart. You're a swing trader, you're an investor, you need to learn how to chart these setups, right? I have many of those. I have hundreds and hundreds of before and after that you can learn and watch. So this was the initial breakout, but today, this morning when we came, I told the traders this is a successful weekly breakout. Now we are watching all-time high breakout. iPhone sales are killing it, so it's a high A plus setup. Let's look at our pre-market planning. Highlighted as a red. iPhone 17 outsold iPhone 16 by 14%. All-time high breakout. If breaks out, will push the market. Long bias as long as Y12 holds. 256 support, 260, 257, 80, and all-time high breakouts long. So as soon as I saw the strength, I saw this swipe back over 512s. I told the trader to long it, put their stops at 256. You put your stops at 256, and then we got a flag break, and we pushed from the flag break. We consolidated. Then I gave the first target of 257.50. No, I gave the flag break of 257.50, and then we got this flag break at close to the all-time highs, and then as we pushed higher, we started to move stops up. You see that as soon as the price moved here, you see that this is the all-time high breakout volume. You see that, look at the volume, boom 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 boom, and ran all the way to 264. And if you're trading options, you could trade leverage ETFs. I teach you again and again. You can trade Apple leverage ETF, or even if you were trading options, right? Let's say you were in 260 calls, they ran from $1.25 all the way to $5, $1,000 into $5,000. That's the kind of trade you want to do. Otherwise you can always trade leverage ETF on Apple. So the leverage ETF on Apple is AAPL. So that's a good one that you can trade. You see that you long at 32.80 or 33. Even you long 1,000 shares, you're risking $300-400, but you are making almost you are making that $1,500 on your 1,000 shares. So there's many ways to trade it. The key is the setup. I gave the longs, I gave the stops, I gave the targets, and the reason I give this is so that the new traders learn. Most of my traders are already long it. You see, when the traders are green, they already know what I'm going to say. They're already long. Most of my old students or my old community members or old followers, they already know. So this is for you new people, to teach them how to follow these setups and how to do it. That's how we do it. Live guidance on Apple. Beautiful trade. So next one, we're going to look at an APP. So APP had a news as well today. So let's take a look on APP here. So APP will be subject of data privacy investigation. Bearish bias to short MTF for the cloud pops. So it was right away as soon as it breaks this for 580 to 589, 590, the support levels, you take it short. Right as I saw it dumping, I told the traders to short it, or you can short the bounce versus 595. That's your risk level. The targets are always MTF. As you see, from this MTF to this MTF, APP completed the MTF magnet setup, right? So look at that short, right? Even if you were short like 10 shares, 50 shares, does not really matter. The size does not matter. People usually think, oh, we want a size, we want to make money. No, you want to trade a successful trade that you can manage risk with, right? If your risk is $5, you're shorting 580 and you went to 553, that's a good almost $25 per share short. That's a good profitable short, and you just short it. And especially if you chase it, your risk is high, you need to have small position. But APP, as you see from my guidance, 933 all the way into what was it, by time it swiped at 10 a.m. bounce, the 10 a.m. or 10 bounce, it had already hit flush 30 points, and you could trade APPX on a short as well. So that was a beautiful trade in the community, APP short. All right, so let's look at the next one. So next one we're going to take a look at is Circle. So Circle was our MTF long. Why was our focus on Circle? Let's take a look here. And Circle, the reason we had a focus on Circle was because we had this let's take a look here. Yeah, Fed Reserve had a stablecoin event. I think it's tomorrow. That's why Circle was my high focus trade versus 1 hour MTF cloud. bullish to neutral bias, no long underrate. So 1 hour MTF cloud. 1 hour MTF cloud is a cheat code. I've said many times. I was watching Circle initially. Initially it was kind of choppy and was not doing anything, but then I saw this breakout coming in. I told the traders to long, put the stops at 130. You're longing at 130, 130. You put the stops under 130 or right here, and it ran from that level 131 to 135.73. Nice $5 per share, a $4 per share profit, 1 to 4 risk reward trade. And then it broke 512, you exited it because couple of a bunch of crypto started to dump at that time. But you can see that Ripster MTF clouds, it's a cheat code. There's a catalyst, there's a news, you wait for price to move up, you wait for the price action to show you a pattern right here, downtrend line, you take it long, buy the shares, buy the options, how you trade it. Risk $1, make $4, risk $1,000, make $4,000. That was the trade. Let's go to the next one. All right, so let's look at the next one. Next one we're going to look at is we're going to go through other crypto names, MSTR. So MSTR was not really it was a good setup. We were trading as 300 psychological long. It did push to 306. We had moved the stops break even and we had to stop out because then it dumped, right? So there was a plan on MSTR. Let's take a look at plan on MSTR here. Let's take a look. So the plan on MSTR was pretty straightforward. Trade was 300, bullish to neutral bias. Simple, right? As soon as it pushes 300, you take it long. You put your stop 300, you take it to 306. Here's a timestamp guidance, 300 long, stops on the 512s. You did pretty well there, right? So same thing there was on BMNR. So we did trade these crypto names. They kind of dumped, but that's why we have our system. We move the stops up. BMNR was a game plan long towards 54, and it did hit 54. And the funny thing is, it now really pushed too much further from our target, right? So that was BMNR, bullish bias, no longer 51. So BMNR was a decent trade, but again it was from the 1 hour MTF cloud, completed the magnet here, magnet there, so that was a magnet setup again on BMNR, and even like APP did that magnet setup as well. All right, so let's look at some other setups here. Let's take a look at CRM. So let's see what CRM was doing today. CRM was my top day 2 day 3 setup. CRM long over daily 50-55 MTF. So that was my top day 2 day 3 setup. The reason being it had a big news the other day. Remember, it had a huge news the other day. Sometimes it will happen. Stock has a huge news, but it fades because of the market, or it fades because of just sell off. That one can recover, because remember, there was a good news a day prior and it dumped. And what do you use to long it? You use the Ripster clouds. Ripster clouds are telling you it's bouncing over 1 hour MTF clouds. Ripster cloud is telling you that it is bouncing over 50-50 MTF, and that was the long. What was the plan? Plan clearly said long over 348. So as you see the pushing over 248, you long it, and you put stops under this MTF clouds, maybe $1.50 stops, and it ran all the way to 255. You could easily make $7. And when it breaks out yesterday highs, you hold it and you ride the Ripster clouds all the way up. Beautiful winner, day 2 setup for us, CRM. Next one we're going to look at is MP. So let's see what was our trade on MP. MP was another Ripster MTF magnet, just like APP. So look carefully. MP. So we had a news on rare materials tariff rollback. You need to know how these stocks move. It's all about the rare earth. When a fight with China, they go up. When everything cool with China, they can relax. So the plan on MP was simple: trade versus 1 hour MTF. Watch all the rare earth materials stocks. I could go to the complete list of rare earth, but the point was the MP was our main short. That was our guided by RGV. This was MTF rejection. You take it short right away. 1 hour MTF short, and it faded from this MTF to this MTF. You buy short here, or you see the rejection, you can do a starter and you add into your position. I told the traders the target is lower MTF, and we did hit the lower MTF. You see that, right? And no hindsight, we had the pre-market plan. Even if you were a little late, even if you traded at 953, let's say you came here, you still made $3 because the target was lower MTF. So that was MP today. Amazing MTF magnet short. I'm showing you so many of these MTF magnet setups. These are just amazing amazing concept that I teach. Whenever you are trading these MTF clouds, if the other MTF is close by, Ripster MTF, you're gonna get that to the MTFs. Other one we're going to look at is OKLO. So OKLO was also, when nuclear is always on a watch, it was a simple short under 1 hour MTF clouds. Simple. You see, you buy the short and let it just fade it. You see, every time it rejects 1 hour MTF clouds, you get a good fade. It was a little choppy the other day, but you can see the how price reacts. So that's why they're just so good setups that you could trade, that we trade, right? So okay, so let's look at next one. We was Oracle. So Oracle was also our day 2 setup, but Oracle was also our MTF magnet setup. You see this, you will not find such a repeatable strategy anywhere else. And all our community was on top of Oracle today, shorting it all the way. Beautiful trades by D trade there. Oracle, let's look at the plan on Oracle. What was the plan on Oracle? The plan on Oracle in the pre-market was pretty straightforward, that we were going to short a trade versus daily 2021 MTF, long over it or short below 290. So when you see this breaking at a 290 yesterday lows, you take it short, and you see all the traders in community, they were already short big time on it, because it was weak under all the Ripster clouds. And you see this, how the MTF magnet completed from one MTF to the other MTF, and beautiful trade done by the traders Cole, Mickey, BKLA, Dutch. Everybody was on top of Oracle. That was just a beautiful trade by the traders in the community. Another example of that was CRWV as well. CRWV was similarly a day 2 MTF magnet short. You could see that short from the 1 hour MTF clouds all the way to the second MTF, and almost pushed toward the other MTF, but it met its ADR. But you can see that how you can successfully short, and it works on the long side as well. We always do MTF magnets long as well. So anyways guys, that was a recap. Beautiful day today, beautiful start of the week. Happy Diwali to everyone who celebrated. I wish you guys all the best, all the luck, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.